World War I, a new phenomenon raised in the Western Hemisphere, the flapper. These new batch of women went against social norms by smoking, drinking, driving automobiles, listening to jazz, bobbed their hair, wore short skirts, and wore excessive makeup. For these reasons, they were seen as brash and looked down upon by those outside the new culture.
In addition to their outlandish behavior, flappers were largely recognized for their fashion influenced by the French styles, especially Coco Chanel. Characterized by a young, boyish look, the flapper style usually included short hair and straight waists with hemlines above the knee. Dresses were also straight and tight, leaving the arms exposed, and high heels reaching 2 to 3 inches high started to come into vogue. Hats like the newsboys and cloche started popping up, including brooches, rings, pins, and horn-rimmed glasses came into style, as well as long beaded necklaces and Art Deco accessories. This is also the time tan started to become popular because they suggested a life of leisure and gave one the appearance of being sporty and fit. Compact mirrors and metal lipstick dispensers were invented to add to the dark eyelashes and blush currently in style. Despite the scandal of the flapper wars, this look became fashionable in a toned-down form among older women. Overall, the flappers are responsible for the removing the corset from a woman's wardrobe.
First appearing in Britain in the early 20th century, the flapper style eventually moved to America in 1920 in the France Marion film. The flappers, starring Olive Thomas, other actresses such as Clara Bow, Louise Brooks, Colleen Moore, and Joan Crawford, soon took up the style as well and achieved great popularity from the look. Prohibition also played an important role in the rise of the flapper. During this time, back alley speakeasies became prolific and popular, moving away from the religious-based temperance movement. A wide disdain for authority emerged. Authors such as F. Scott Fitzgerald popularized the flapper life even more, making them reckless, attractive, and independent, while others like writer-critic Dorothy Parker from Flappers, a hate song, satirized the fad. The Secretary of Labor criticized the flappancy of the cigarette-smoking, cocktail-drinking flapper. Another critic was Harvard psychologist who said flappers had the lowest degree of intelligence and were a hopeless problem for educators.
Flappers played a role in modernizing women's roles. The image of the flapper was a woman who went to jazz clubs at night, where they danced provocatively, smoked cigarettes through long holders, and dated quite freely. They rode bicycles, drove cars, and openly drank alcohol during this time of prohibition. They worked outside the home and advocated for women's voting rights. Flappers also are known for seriously challenging the Victorian gender roles, all about plain living, religion, and hard work. They embrace consumerism and personal choice. Overall, the flappers are largely created with representing the cultural war.
Liberalism began to emerge during the age of the flapper due to political and social instability, as well as increased transatlantic culture exchange that took place after World War I and the export of American jazz culture to Europe. Liberalism is founded on the idea of emphasizing the importance of liberty and equal rights. The fundamental ideas of liberalism are constitutions, liberal democracy, fair and free elections, capitalism, human rights, free trade, and freedom of religion. In the 1920s, the contrast between the changing attitudes and traditional values caused a clash between the old and the new. With a newfound sense of awareness, minorities began to realize that they were entitled to their own subculture, pursuit of success, and their share of the American dream. These minorities were supported by a growing number of young liberals who sought the use of logic and rational reasoning to rethink and reevaluate society's current status. Liberal ideas spread during the 20th century with the triumph of the liberal democracies in both World War I and II. Today, liberals are politically organized and exist all over the world. They have played an important role in the growth of republics, the spread of civil rights and liberties, establishment of the modern welfare state, and the establishment of the institution of religious toleration.
Many flapper women held steady jobs in the changing American economy. Clerking jobs that had expanded exponentially during the Gilded Age continued to grow, allowing job openings for women. Also, since phone usage increased, it required more operators, thus more jobs. The economy during the 1920s turned consumer-oriented, leading to a breakout of department stores. Since women were able to relate to the prime customers, other women, there became an increasing demand for them on the sales floor. But by night, flappers heavily engaged in the active city life. During the Roaring 20s, people were happy to be alive and wanted every day to feel like a party. Frequenting jazz clubs, vaudeville shows, and speakeasies, these women adapted carefree lifestyles dominated by consumerism. During the Prohibition, more women consumed alcohol than ever before, even more than some men. Further merging the gender boundaries, flappers took up smoking, an activity previously reserved for men. High fashion was previously only available to the economic elite, since the extravagant silk evening dresses cost more than most women could make in a year. However, the square, boyish-looking dresses became popular among the flappers, could easily be made at home, allowing this increasingly popular trend to become affordable to the middle class. However, the flapper look and lifestyle did not survive the Wall Street crash and the Great Depression. The economic hardships of the 1930s could not accommodate the high-spirited attitude, but the Roaring 20s was one of the most influential decades of American history.